Hey everybody, want to do a quick review of the Shuffletech ST1000 shuffler that I had installed with my BBO poker table. So the shuffler ships separately, but the table, BBO already had the mount in and everything ready to drop it in. I'll get some details later on that piece of it. But I love this thing. It's well, the table is a showpiece in itself, but adding the shuffler to it just takes it up such a notch above what any of my other friends have whenever we rotate around playing the home games. So this is pretty much where we always have the home games now. I would say it at least triples, maybe more than that, our hands per hour. Plus, we don't constantly have somebody shuffling, and killing time that way. So we get more hands in, we get more discussion and just fun time in without having to worry about shuffling ourselves. So just real quickly, wanted to show how it's set into the table. You can see that it's flush mounted, looks great. Just really fits into the table. On my BBO table, I have the dealer cutout. I have the chip tray here with the Copag cards. So that's one thing. Make sure you use quality cards inside this machine. I've had zero problems, and I don't know how many hundreds of hours of games that we've now had. There's a button on the bottom that makes it work where the cards come out the top instead of coming out the bottom side. So you simply put the cards in. Should put them in sideways here. And you can push 3 or the 7. The 3 does a standard casino shuffle where it's shuffles it 3 times, including cutting it. So if I push that, that'll start going. You can use the 7, and it does the same thing. It just basically does it 7 times, including cuts in between. So I do that whenever I bring out a brand new deck. To really get them shuffled up, or when that one guy's on a bad streak and wants you to wash the deck, I just say, you know what, we'll hit it on the 7 shuffles mode. One of the things that we really like doing too, besides putting them in and just pushing the button, and I'll show you as soon as this one completes. One of the things you can do is hold down on the 3 or the 7, and then it defaults to that every time that you put the cards in. So what do I mean by that? If I push the 3 and hold it, once that stops flashing and turns green, now it's in automatic mode. So now as we're playing hands, and we always use 2 decks. So we have one deck going that's actively being played, and then the other one is being shuffled. So as soon as we're ready, we set this down in the machine, and you can see it just starts shuffling. We continue with the other deck, and we're just playing our hands. Obviously, it only takes 30 seconds or so. And then whenever, by the time this hand is done, this deck of cards is ready to go, and we swap them out, and the game keeps on moving. So really happy with it. Really highly recommend looking into getting that added to your table. Definitely think it's worth it. Again, it just gives you more time for communicating and talking. And just enjoying playing poker instead of worrying about shuffling. And then there's always somebody that doesn't really know how to shuffle well, and you don't know exactly what they may be doing. Not that they're cheating or anything, but maybe they just don't shuffle as well and know how to do standard shuffle. So this takes that out of the equation.
I did want to take just a moment to show you what it looks like. This is the piece that's actually shipped with the table. So again, the shuffler comes in a box separately. This is all about the mounting piece, which in this case BBO took care of, going ahead and installing that mount. And so this piece of it, where you actually will mount the machine, ships with the table. So here again, separate shipment, and it was the pack of Copag cards. Great quality cards are important. I've seen some things about, some reviews will say, the shuffler, keeps breaking or things are getting jammed. Most of the research that I did on that, they weren't using very high quality cards. Again, I've used this thing a ton. I've had no issues at all yet. Maybe it's a difference in having it mounted as well, so I'm not picking it up and moving it around and carrying it to a friend's house. But I think it's jammed once, and you could tell it corrected itself. So it just took a little bit longer. We all got very interested in that. It was kind of funny to watch. We knew it kind of jammed and stopped and did a few things, and then totally self-corrected. So Copag cards very important, or other very high quality cards like that. So it already comes with it. So no excuse of using some $2 grocery store checkout line, cardboard cards. So on the bottom, when you flip it over, is where you'll find the switch, which actually lets the cards come out of the top versus coming out of the bottom. So if you're just using this sitting on a table, or if you're carrying it around to a friend's house or something like that, then you don't need the need it to come out the top, maybe you want it to come out the side, but you have that option. It's just a simple switch on the bottom. You can also see the mounting bracket there and kind of the way that works. And you basically just put it underneath the table like this, and then you tighten it up. And I remember whenever I first saw the hole, and I was like, I don't know how this is ever going to look completely flush, but you know, I read the directions, first try, tightened it up, and it fit right in there perfectly. You can see it looks real nice there. Here it is sitting inside the table. I think it's a pretty good location. You know, my table's not as big as some, but this is a good location for it. Everybody, whenever the hand's done, we kind of pull the cards together, and anybody sitting on, you know, anywhere from halfway over can sit there and access it and go ahead and put the cards in.